Skip to end game. Nah, we'll watch a little bit of the mid game because it's not like, you know, we can just 4x it. But I do want to see how they set themselves up in mid game. I mean, I feel like it's fairly obvious, but it is nice to watch at least. Oh no, this guy's literally padded away. That's an instant W key. And it would be also good to watch how they fight. Because, we never see them fight mid-game, right? Because they're, what we know them from. Suck your mum. Alright, early rotation as soon as zone pops. As you'd expect, straight to center up a nice hill. Quite fantastic positioning, of course. Landing at Misty does allow this. So they do have an advantage for south pulling zones, which are the worst. This is essentially what they did this game. They sat in a box because they pulled center second, which means they're going to pull third, which means they're probably going to have an easy rotation to fourth. It's nice when you pull zones. Really nice if you pull zones. Alright, let's see where third goes. We'll see where fourth goes. Obviously, this has been very easy for them. They basically landed, did their loop path, sprinted over to Caddy, wiped that team. When it kept on pulling south, they got up a hill fast. And now they're on alpha position on the entire lobby, waiting to see where fourth goes. And they're pulled fourth as well. So they've been up here since second zone. Nice. So these guys are the low ground gods, but this is actually such a vertical zone. I'm really interested to see how they play it. What about Slurpee? Slurpee's a god drop. Thought they would pad late, Sui high. Yeah, me too. But that's just not how these guys play. Particularly vertical. Like if on vertical zones like this, if you're a team who's really vertically aware, I think you're wasting your talent if you just Sui high that early, because you're gonna get suied on in first moving anyway. You may as well play to your strengths and not risk it if you're one of these top tier teams. Alright, first moving's pulled nice and close, but it's pulled close for everyone. I've said this a few times, you should always pay attention to where live side of zone is, not just so that you can access dead side if you need to, but so that you can also notice when you've pulled versus when other people have pulled, because your timing of rotation should change. So everyone's pulled here, basically. You look at that, no one really has to move. So everyone's going to make this rotation relatively easily. Therefore, the timing of rotation should be as fast as possible, because you want to be the first to establish amongst everyone else who's around you. It's different if there's other people who haven't pulled zone and there's a mixture of the two, or if no one's pulled it. The circumstances change. But it does pull off the hill. So this is where vertical awareness is so important, right? Because you gotta work out where you are amongst all of this, and then try and find a way to traverse that without either dropping too far to make it really awful getting up that hill again, and also without going too high so that height, hard focuses you, because this is one of those zones where height basically gets 0 kills. They're going to sit up top, they're going to spray a bunch, and that's basically all they're going to do. These poor kids on low ground here are also fucked. They're going to try and get a couple kills here by the looks of things. At least try to put some pressure on. Little miscommunication, checks his head. Super simple stuff, but it's the stuff that these guys do so well. It's the reason they're one of the best late game teams in the world, is because they always just do those specific special stuff consistently. Not landing low, but also not landing high. Getting themselves into a nice easy spot. There's no congestion. They're not having to deal with all these players down here. They're in a pretty isolated layer, and they're not too high that they're going to attract attention from height. They're not too low that they're going to get caught up in all of this stuff down here with 2 or 3 different trios. So straight away they've picked up a layer that they want to get to. Commandment straight away onto his tarping. Looking to cut someone off for a drop down. Straight away looking for it. This is the Centered Edgy Classic. Looking for something there, don't quite get it. Wait and see where zone pulls. Centered gets themselves in a little bit further. If we look at that on drone. Super simple stuff, but does it well. Extends out so that if it pulls far, he's got the option to access dead so really easily. But I think another reason to do this on this kind of zone. Let me just pull myself down here a little bit. Nice. Another reason to do this on this zone is that you want to clear as much congestion as possible so that if it pulls up that hill, you don't get caught up with everyone in there. So by extending a few more out here, yeah? By extending out, you give yourself this space here if it pulls up the mountain. If you were to do that later and you get caught up with any of these teams trying to come up with you, you're forced to clear and go a little bit later. You're going to have to clear that space later. By clearing that space earlier, you give yourself a little bit more space and you can basically immediately hit up the hill. So it actually keeps in mind if it pulls, basically like this, right? So obviously they can pay. Oh my god. Oh my god. He probably could have taken that fight too. And there's Sui that height. There you go. The low ground kings jumping on height. But essentially, imagine if you don't have a pad there, yeah? If I take that back to the scenario that we just had, you would be up there ahead of every one of these players, okay? You'd be up there ahead of these guys 10 times out of 10. This was the box that you've gone from, or one of these boxes that they've gone from here. They'd be the first up that hill 100% because they cleared the congestion, they got away from all that stuff. And that's also another example of why you never play down on these layers in a zone where a hill like this is has potential, yeah? Like, imagine trying to get up that hill if you're all the way down on the low ground there. It's just not worth it. So trying to, like I said, balancing the idea of suing for height or playing like a relatively high layer where you could get looked at by height, and then avoiding low ground congestion and those sorts of things is really important. Particularly, I've explained this a little bit before, but if you've got a hill like that and you've got everyone trying to get up, you get this like basically car pile up effect, where these guys hold these guys, and then as everyone tries to keep on moving up, you just basically get a cluster of people trying to move into the same boxes, and then the guys on height just insta-win. We can basically 4x this now, because it's going to be nothing special, it's just them holding height, so retaining when they need to, and everyone's going to die in this rotation. Like, if I do this, everyone dies in this rotation because they haven't been prepared. If I do this... Need to get my cameras right. We want nameplates on. If I do this... Oh, not what I intended to do. You'll be able to see how many people die moving up that hill there. All of that shit in there. Everyone just dying or basically having nothing as they move on up. Only the top teams, like players who I'd assume have the wherewithal to get up there consistently, are the ones that actually did get up there, right? Pam Stowe, obviously really good players, but look at how quickly 13 people just died. We just had 30 in the time that I clicked that. That's now dropped to 17 because Nom was ready to go up. Pump is another top tier player. Like all these guys know how to get out, and look at how fast this lobby died out. Simply again because no one was aware that they had to get up the hill. They all got caught in that pile up, like I explained before. And even if they didn't have the pad, these guys would have been fine. They cleared the congestion, they got away from everyone else, they found themselves in a good layer, they weren't ulti low, they weren't fucking with height, they would have been fine. I think they come second here, the second place curse coming in. They obviously don't win their ones at the end. But it looks like it's Pam, Stowe, Fatch, and W carry. How does this go down? Got a West player there as well. I just want to see how the hell they lose this. Putting all the pressure down. Honestly, I tell you how they lose this. It's because they don't have the fucking chug cannon. That's literally it. All 30. Kills Fatch. Oh, that's a big shot from Pamstow. Holy shit. And then he's got the chug cannon, and because he got that one siphon, he can basically out-heal everyone. Oh, he got another one too. He got another one. That other one just won it. Oh my god. That sucks. They could have actually won this tournament, bro. They could have won that tournament off that. Jesus Christ. That's crazy. Bro, I don't know how the fuck you've won that game. That's literally, that's the tournament for them. They could have won the tournament off the back of that if he didn't have that second chug cannon. Where is it? Fuck, how do I... Tournament details, yeah. But yeah, the Vic Roy plus the kills. They would have literally won the tournament if that one last fucking shot. That's crazy, bro.